Morning.
Morning, everybody.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Morning.
Chat up.
That's $300.
Hope everyone is having a good day so far. I know it's early, but it's Friday. It's a holiday weekend. It's all good. It's all good in the hood.
Oh, it's a holiday? Can we start drinking?
Yeah, it is a holiday weekend.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That means no shipping until Tuesday. Sweet.
It's not a. Oh, Monday is a holiday. That's what you're saying.
Are we having a show on Monday?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Oh.
Shit.
Oh.
Sorry.
Nice feet. Nice feet. Where are you at today, Dora?
What?
I said, where are you at today, Dora?
I'm sitting at the Canadian, what is that? Canadian Northern Railroad?
Border?
No, I'm just waiting. I'm
dropped
up here in Proctor.
I dropped my husband off at work, and I just kept on driving.
I've done that before.
She's getting ready to make a whiskey run. That's what it is.
No, I'm up in Proctor, Minnesota at the railroad yard picking up my brother-in-law. Because, you know, I have nothing better to do than play chauffeur.
She glitched out, or it may have been me. What's she picking up?
What are you picking up?
My brother-in-law, because I have nothing better to do than run chauffeur.
What, does he like ride the rails and he swings through every now and then for a shower and a meal?
Is he a hobo? Does he carry a pack on his stick over his shoulder?
Got his bindle stiff?
No, he works for them. He drives a van and drives railroad workers around. Do you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, does he have the cool truck or van with the railroad attachments on it so he can ride the rails himself?
No, he just drives a minivan.
That's like the ultimate bug out vehicle if you think about it. One of those four-wheel trucks, it's got the railroad attachments on it. You can actually get on and drive on the railroad tracks.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Oh, not to change the subject, but getting straight into business. Beth C. Eric had this happen last night. Beth C. said, I posted in the group this morning. I got a best offer this morning, and it said buyer has 9 offers remaining. What the hell?
That's every offer I got last night. Same way, they all say they have 9 offers. I'm going to assume that eBay has changed their parameters and allow you to have 9 offers. So that person now has 10 times the lowball you now. Is basically what we're saying.
Oh Jesus!
Wow.
It's their terms though on their help page still say 3.
Yeah. Did you get any offers overnight? Or you have any offers pending?
Yeah, but I took them. I think
there's so many glitches. It might even be a glitch.
It was on my phone that I was seeing the 9, and I wasn't paying attention to the computer, so I don't know if the computer said different. So, yep, 9 times the call to get a time.
That's right, Margo. I had a guy yesterday. He's been bugging the crap out of me on these books, and okay. So here's something to think about, and this is one of the reasons. I mean, it's kind of a catch-22, but it's a stack of books, and what did it weigh? It weighed like 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And they can go media mail, and the guy kept making an offer. I had them at like $25 or whatever, free shipping, just to get rid of. They were some junky computer books out of the storage unit. And so this guy kept making an offer. Well, I always look at the location, of course, when somebody makes an offer, and he was in Portugal, Spain, I don't know, somewhere over there. I think it was Spain. And it was like $8. And I'm like, Eric, can I even ship without going to look at the media mail charts? I mean, like 10 or 11 pounds media mail, can I even ship them for that? And Eric's like, nah, you're going to end up just pretty much giving the books away. And so I kept, going back, and I do a little bit better offer, like, $18.50 or whatever, because I just want to get rid of them. I probably should have never listed them. I just couldn't bring myself to throw them away. But if I make something after shipping, and then the guy writes me back and he's like, well, this is also through, you've done it, and he spoke really good English, but you've also done it through the global shipping program, and I'm going to have to pay costs, through there and everything else. And I wrote him back. I said, I understand, but you understand I have free shipping on my end, which means that I have to get them to the United States global shipping program for $10 or less. And I said, I just simply can't even get them there for that. And I was really nice about it. But it hadn't dawned on me. So people that aren't doing free shipping, Eric and I were talking about this, if I'd have had those books at like $10 plus $5 shipping, he's going to pay the $10, the $5 shipping, and then the charges to the global shipping program. He's going to have to pay international shipping and domestic, correct?
Yeah.
Well, no wonder people that charge shipping. I mean, I wouldn't even, if you're charging shipping on stuff, I wouldn't even do the global shipping program.
Why?
Because who's going to pay all that extra? I mean, they'd have to really want your item.
I pay it every day.
I get international orders all the time.
And they're paying on stuff that you charge shipping on? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't know. It's something we were thinking about because I hadn't thought about it that way.
Yeah, that's the thing, people that item know what things cost to ship. They know what things cost. Good places. Whoops, sorry.
Welcome to the Nikki Morning Show.
What is Nikki gonna do next?
Who knows? Nikki goes to Hollywood.
Be right back.
Oh, now I got to find an item that I hope I still have.
Yeah, on global shipping, I mean, I don't know what they charge or anything. I just know that, they get an invoice and they pay it.
But you can see what they're paying on stuff if you print a packing slip, it'll show you all the charges they pay. So next time you ship something, try printing a packing slip. Because it's kind of interesting, the fees and charges they pay. Huh.
And people who are buying overseas, they know how much that shit costs.
But they still gripe about it. It's like people in Australia. That's the one that cracks me up. It's the most expensive country to ship to, and they still complain about how much the shipping is. And I just want to write back and go like, you do know where you live, right?
But a lot of people just want that item. They can't get that item over there or whatever, and they just want it. I gotta go. My brother-in-law's here. I'll be back.
Okay, dope.
The hobo. Oh, so what did you do yesterday, Valerie?
Oh, what did I do yesterday? I listed. Got my 20 listings in.
Oh yeah, I saw that. And you were. Did you ever find where your 100 went?
No, no clue. And I called eBay about it and talked to them, and they looked through everything and couldn't find anything. There was nothing hanging on.
Do you get emails when an item ends?
I don't think so.
I have that set up. It's kind of a pain in the butt because if you have like 500 items in at one time, then you get 500 emails, but you can bulk delete in Gmail, like 50 per page or whatever. So it's not a huge deal. but that's kind of like a safeguard. I wonder if you could go back, if you do get those emails, if you could go back and kind of cross-check. And if you can find an email where it ended, then at least you can still, because otherwise you're going to have to list them again from scratch, correct?
Right. And I don't even know which ones they are. That's the bad thing. You know, I don't have any clue as far as what they are, what the items
How do you
are.
know they ended then? I'm just curious.
Because when I was doing I was doing a bulk relist, and my number was a certain amount. I believe it was what was it? It was like 1,000. I think I was right at 1,000.
Okay.
And when I looked back, it was, well, how did that go? It was 100. It was approximately 100 less than what my original number was. So that's the only way I can, you know.
I wonder when you bulk relist if it said you accidentally hit bulk delete.
I mean, it's a possibility.
Um,
I would.
there's
I wouldn't put it
there's
past
usually a bunch of warnings though when you come up with that, saying you're going to delete these items, you know, things like that. So.
Right. So I don't know.
I mean, it's been recently though.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go back and look at your.
But I don't get those emails.
Yeah, but
I
you could go
stopped those.
back and look at your ended.
No, there's nothing that ended.
Like if I go click on your seller name, view seller's items, and then look at completed and look at your last 90 days,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to show up there.
No,
Oh, wow.
they're gone. There's no tracking for them.
Did you look in your archive?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if that'll make any difference, but actually, you should be able to find them in your ended.
There's not on my ended. There's nothing on my ended. So,
On other news, I still got back into I got back into my Amazon account.
well, good.
Yay! I had like 130 bucks in there I could sweep out, so that's pretty cool. That's all I
Woohoo.
really cared about. I don't know. I mean, it's not like I really need to list anything. Like I list anything over there anyhow.
If you go to your list in the seller side, go to the listings page and then go to ended and then go to status and change your status to not relisted.
To ended. I don't have that option.
On the left-hand side under inventory,
Yeah.
it says listings, active, unsold, draft, scheduled, and then ended.
Well, I'm not saying anything like that. I see ended listings, last 90 days,
Okay,
sold.
you're in your listings part of your seller club, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and it's on the left-hand side of the page in the columns.
Right.
You clicked on. If you click on the ended, that brings you into the manage your ended listings.
Okay.
You can look at all. You can see unsold and not relisted, relisted, not relisted, sold, unsold.
It doesn't give me those options though.
In the status,
It doesn't give me any kind of those options.
Okay, when you click on, just click on the listing so it brings it into your listing page. Okay, at the top line, overview, orders, listings, marketing, performance.
Right.
Okay, click on the listings.
Okay.
Okay, don't worry about drop downs in that box there. What do you
Okay.
what do you see? What do you see? What's it come up and tell you that you're looking at?
It says active, unsold, drafts, scheduled, ended.
Okay, click on the ended.
Okay.
And it brings up a search page on top.
Right.
Okay, go over to your status. I guess hang on.
Okay.
And then there's a whole bunch of different drop downs.
Right.
And look in. You can either look in relisted, not relisted, sold, unsold, and then a couple other ones. But you're going to see numbers next to some of those.
Yeah.
So some of those are going to be sold items. Some of them are going to be the ones you relisted. Look for ones not relisted. Is there a number there?
Yes. 216.
Okay, that could also be your sold items too. So when you click on that, and when did these disappear? How long ago?
I want to say it was Sunday or Monday.
Okay,
This-
so
this
look in the last.
Oh, bastards.
Look at current week over period. Just do current week.
Okay.
Now look at those items. Are those items all the ones that you sold, or are any of the ones you're missing ones in there?
Well, it only brings up with that, with the, fixing the period and everything. It only brings up 11.
Okay, so those are ones you probably sold this week.
Right.
If you look
Yeah,
at last, I would also look at last week because you're not really sure when they disappeared.
Sorry.
And you're getting noisy, Dusty.
I know. I was trying to get it all done before the show. I was so proud of myself getting up early, and I was like, I'll have all my shipping done. And I ordered new tape. I use that same company for 3-inch tape off of eBay called Medical. What the hell they call Medical Mark by Mail or something?
Uh-huh.
Medical Mark by Mail, and they sent me a different brand. But whatever brand it is, it's definitely more mils than the last one was. So I'm not complaining. It's a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
I think it's louder.
Probably.
All right, I'll mute
Okay.
myself. I have one more left. I'll mute myself on it.
Yeah. When I clicked on the last week, it doesn't. It comes up with more solds.
Okay, so how about clicking on unsold for last week?
Click on the any key. Where's the any key? I think that was an old Simpsons episode, actually.
And a lot of those are ones you might have relisted. So
Yeah. There's nothing in there. That's
I'm
completely.
gonna guess that you deleted them by accident.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
And there's no way to go back and get them. Like I said, the thing that hurt you is you don't know what you did. So the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you actually went and did an inventory, and you've got over 1,000 items.
But if she deleted them by accident, that should throw them into archived. And then, like I said, if she goes,
No, you can delete completely without going to archive. You can archive them or you can delete them.
but also if she goes in and looks at the last 90 days worth of completeds, I mean, it'd be a pain in the butt. Do you have a laser printer or inkjet?
Inkjet.
I mean, it would take some ink and take some paper, but she could print everything for the last 90 days, sit down with those pieces of paper, go through, look for the ones that had been.
Yeah.
She could sort it by alphabet. I think you can sort it by alphabetical order. So that'd be a little easier to find them that way. She could probably.
Here's the bad thing: no matter what you do, you're going to have to go back and rephoto everything too.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, she wouldn't have to She wouldn't have to rephoto if the listings are still there. She just clicks.
With the listings aren't there, that's the thing. She deleted them; they're gone.
They're gone. There's no.
But they should still show up in completeds, like
No.
completed not sold.
I think
See what I'm saying? Like if you go find her name,
Yeah,
from the buyer end of things, forget the whole seller hub thing.
yeah, from the buyer end. Let's see.
From the buyer end, and you go look up Valerie's Happy Fun Wonder Emporium, and oh, that's Jim Bennett. Sorry, I get y'all confused. And if you look up, you see what I'm saying, and you look it up that way. Hey, Harley woman. If you look it up that way.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at completed. Now you got 4,400 results.
Because if you do that by date, that's going to show you blocks. Like, oh, here's all the stuff from the 8th of May. Here's all the stuff that ended on the 15th of May. Here's all the stuff that ended on the 22nd of May. Oh wow, look, all the stuff on the 22nd. Here's 100 items. I just think if you did, I don't know. There's got to be a way to do it where it would be a little
if you
bit.
look like that, you could. Now I don't. Go back to do that. Look at your own store and then go by completed, and then try to see something that you know you didn't sell, and then you're gonna have to kind of what did I not sell and what's not relisted again. And if you should be able to click on it. It should tell you if it's relisted. And then maybe you can figure out the date that all those items ended that they ended up disappearing.
Right.
I mean, I'm looking at Sundays. Your May 21st stuff. Looks like that stuff was relisted. I'm going to go to the 20th and get there.
Margo, can you search your store for completed listings? I think that's what we're.
Yeah.
Like if I. Hold on, let me go look her up.
Okay, found it. May 21st, you have a listing that ended but was not relisted.
So it could be everything in that chunk of time around the 21st.
Yeah, you have a lot of listings around the 21st that are ended on the 21st. I don't know what your now you might be able to click on them and actually because you're the seller, you might be able to click on them and then go ahead and relist them right from there.
You can. It should. If she goes into that page for that item, it should have a relist button on that page, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like there's a chunk in there that didn't get relisted.
Like, let me go find one of mine that.
You have like Starbucks coffee mug mermaid is one of your listings.
Right.
Okay. Do you show that as an active listing in your store? Just search your active listings in your store.
Right.
Eric, send me a link through Facebook or in here or whatever.
I'll do it.
Like here's an item that I had that ended and it says you did not, when I go to that item, it says you did not sell this item, relist, and then right underneath it, it gives the option to sell a similar item. So there is a relist on each individual page. That's what I was saying, go through that way. It'd be a pain in the ass. And then I would probably definitely, after you get all done with that, wait about 30 minutes and run that duplicate listing tool just to make sure you didn't screw up. Which I have.
That Starbucks mug is listed.
It's not showing. It's showing as not relisted in your system.
You know what it is then? You know what it could be?
You could have a fault in your number on your active listings.
Or you could have stuff that's not showing up right away, because Eric and I have both had that problem lately.
I have a huge problem with that where I'll list stuff and it'll take 5 or 6 hours to actually show online that I actually have it listed.
No, I show the Starbucks Interactive. I showed 2 of them actually. One for like 29 and change, and one for like $9.95.
That's what when I'm looking in completed. That's the listing I sent you. Starbucks Coffee Cup Mermaid, showing as the listing has ended, but it's not been relisted.
Well, it doesn't say that it's been relisted, but when I go search her 1,022 active items, it shows up in there.
But it may not have been relisted. It may have been a sell similar.
Are you doing sell similars?
Yeah.
Oh, stop.
I get screwed up.
Sell similar screws me up every time.
It shows that she relisted the Starbucks coffee mug on May the 21st at 16:52. The old one ended May the 21st at 18:32. 18 minus 2 hours, 16. So she relisted it almost immediately. Self similar is a good way to lose track. I can't stand it because it screws me up every single time.
Yep. And it doesn't really help you. You get the same bumps you get from a self similar that you get from a relist. The only thing it does help you is it keeps your watchers.
That's true.
So I would not do self similar. Let me see.
Yeah, and it, like I said, and I'm completely okay with, eventually I'm going to have to go through my stuff and inventory, which probably wouldn't be a bad thing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's showing me you have 1,022 items up right now.
Okay.
So, if you had like 1,000 items, and then how many have you listed this week since you had that issue? 100 items.
Probably pretty close. Yeah.
You've had some sales, so I don't know if they disappeared or not. It may just have initially appeared like they disappeared.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry. I mean, why worry about it? You're not seeing it anywhere. And like I said, if you deleted them, there's a bunch of different warnings that pop up when you delete something. So
I'm way overdue to just sit down and take an entire day and get somebody to help me, get Tristan to help me, and sit down and literally just
go
start
through
one
everything.
One end of my, huh?
It probably wouldn't be a bad idea anyway.
taking an image, like I said, when I redid my office, I found like 30 items that I thought were up that weren't up anymore. Now, it's probably my fault. I'm not blaming eBay. It's my fault.
It's more fun. It's more fun to blame eBay, though.
It is. But I said I found like 30 items. I thought there we go. Were relisted, and they weren't.
Well, the good news is you don't have. I ran you through the duplicate listing thing, and you don't have any duplicates, Valerie.
Well, that's a good
and
thing.
Mine through, and I don't have any duplicates. And I'm running Eric now, and he doesn't have any duplicates.
I usually check that about once a week.
Jim doesn't have any duplicates. I hadn't checked in a while. Back to the GSP thing, Megan Carl says, I buy through GSP too. It's much cheaper than someone trying to do their own thing. The fees really, I've experimented around, and I don't know what the results are of my experiment because it was a very informal experiment that I never really kept up with. But I have a lot of my items that have free first class shipping, and I set them as first class, even though they're going to go priority mail, just because I've always wondered, how does GSP know what price to give those people? They don't know how big the item is. They don't know how much it weighs. They don't know how much it's going to cost them to get it from Kentucky to Australia. And I have this theory that if you put down just free first class shipping on your items, that maybe whatever calculator GSP had would go, hey, that item must be under 16 ounces. Let's show a really, really, really cheap price to the potential global shipping customer. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt anything because even if I ship it priority, they're going to get it faster than they would first class anyhow.
Well, I'm just wondering am I hurting myself with global shipping by not putting in weight and dimensions, or am I helping my numbers with global shipping by not putting weight and dimensions?
I don't know.
Because they've never really forced that issue, allowing you to list without at least some idea how big it is. Now, like on my bigger stuff, I'll put a weight in. And that's more for me. That way, if I weigh the item, I know when I'm doing an offer, I kind of have an idea. I can look back and see how much does it really weigh.
I
But
always put weight and dimensions in when I'm doing the listing.
see, I never do.
If you're going to have to weigh it again afterwards, it's kind of almost double stepping. I mean, unless you're using calculated shipping or whatever, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I always use calculated shipping,
Yes, yeah. I free ship everything. So.
but you know, and I just kind of, you know, I figure in the packaging and all of that, and it usually works out pretty good.
I just wonder if that hurts my global shipping by not having it in there, or if it helps it. Because they're going to estimate a price then.
or if you put everything as free first class shipping and maybe their calculator, like I said, goes, hey, this is under 16 ounces. Let's show a really, really cheap. Try to think of something I've had recently that went global shipping.
I don't know.
But it's, you know, it's interesting though. I mean, yeah, and there's a fee built into there because obviously Pitney Bowes doesn't do it for free. But some of the prices that I see on some of the stuff that I ship, really, when I look at it, I'm like, okay, I couldn't have shipped it international for that. You know?
Yeah.
And they're going to do, and global shipping is probably most likely going to do a major courier to get it there versus post office, which in some countries the tracking will disappear. So, and maybe, and typically a lot of times probably be faster through global shipping than it would be, you know, sometimes through post office. But for me, it's just, I don't want to worry about it anymore. I want to ship it. I want to have it get to Kentucky and boom, it's done, you know?
Yeah. That's why I mean, Kentucky's so cheap for me. That's why I don't care if I have shipping there.
Florida's Hidden Treasures, Margot asked question, do you think with the new guaranteed shipping, you're going to have to put which way you're shipping instead of the generic standard shipping?
Are you? I don't think so, because I think that the guaranteed shipping is you're going to get it there at a certain time. So
Yeah, but I think their thing is going to look, I think the way I understood it, it's going to look at method of shipping, proximity of seller to buyer. Hey, it can be their handling time, things like that. And it's going to, I don't think if I read it correctly, you're going to be able to just opt all your items in or out. I think it's more going to be like, hey, I want to opt into it, and all these items, it's automatically going to qualify for it based on your shipping speed and stuff like that. Which, you know, for years, I put free priority shipping on everything. It was just free priority. The only reason I show first class on some is that, like I said, I was trying to kind of game the GSP thing as an experiment to see if it would work. And I haven't, it didn't really matter. If I put free priority and I sent it first class, it got there in the same amount of time. Knock on wood, I've had no complaints.
yeah, I'll ever get
doing that.
rave reviews for shipping speed and everything, but I'm just curious. I mean, with the new program, the only thing that's going to be nice about it is you're going to be able to set a zone and add days to that zone.
Right.
So like California, I can add a price and a day to the zone if I want. I can add, I'm going to surcharge you $3 because you're in California. Even though I have free shipping, I can still do a surcharge on top of you. Oh, damn it. Hang on.
I'll start surcharging everybody that lives in California, Washington State. Sorry to everybody in California and Washington State. But y'all want to be your own country, you can be your own country. You can buy, I think California and Washington State needs to buy everything through global shipping program.
But it's crazy. I mean, I said something. Getting an echo. That's all. I sent something. I'm sending something to North Dakota today, and it's $10. If I sent that to Washington, it would be $20. Hey, Tara.
Hey, how's it going?
Fine, except for the
Tara.
echo.
Hi.
Speaker down.
But that's the nice thing about having best offer on stuff is that, you know, it's typically on items that they make an offer. And so I'm like, okay, they made an offer, you know, they made an offer. Oh, look, their location is California. I know it's going to cost X to ship there. I have to factor that into it. Or last night I sold an item for $100. I paid $10 for it at a yard sale. Actually, I paid $5, but I sold it for $100, and sure enough, it's going to California. And I ended up, it would have been $12 FedEx or $12.50 or $16 large flat rate. And I don't feel like going to FedEx today, so I just paid the extra to get it out in the mail. And but they paid full price. They didn't make an offer, and so I had already factored that in. Worst case shipping, was going to be $15, $20 based on how heavy it was.
What were you running on that? Were you running with a 25% off sale on that one? I know you had it up for a decent price.
I had it for I had it up a little high. I had it up 119 or 129, anticipating that I would probably do a 20% off sale.
Yeah, I knew it was up there. So.
Dusty, do you guys ever not take a best offer because of where it's going?
Yeah. If I'm not going to come out okay. I mean, now then again, if it's a $50 item going to California and I know it's going to cost me $35 to ship it, and it's an item that I really would just like to get rid of because it's been listed for 9 months and I can still make $15 and get it off the shelf and help boost my sales and, Cassini or whatever you want to call it. Then yeah, sometimes I'll still take it. But, if it's only been listed a day or two, it's a fairly hot item. Then I'll counter offer with something a little more reasonable, factoring in, their shipping in my head, knowing what my net's going to be after shipping.
Right.
Yeah, I do that. If I got something I've been sitting on forever and I can make a few bucks on it, I'm fine. I'm not going to lose money on the sale. If I got to break even, I've done that before, but I'm not going to. Like I said, I don't mind getting rid of something that's been sitting around. Because even though you may not make a whole lot of money on something, you're still putting money back into your account to spend on other stuff.
Son of a gun. Come on, eBay. Well, it's like the guy with the, it's like the guy with the books. I just finally just declined him. I was like, no. And he's done this about the last 3 times I've listed these books. And my next step will be either, it's a little extreme, but would either be to block him or just go in and take best offer off that item, knowing that, hey, now if you want to buy it, you're stuck at buying it full price. Thanks for being a douche. Like I said, the books really aren't worth anything. I probably should have never listed them. They were I brought them home from the warehouse and I couldn't bring myself to throw them away. And I don't really care if they sell or don't sell.
No, they'll sell eventually.
Well, they're older Pascal books. Somebody somewhere wants them. Barely. Does Valerie know she's muted?
Oh.
I see your mouth moving.
No. I was doing the mime thing. I said that I would probably just go ahead and do it. Just take the best offer off, and that way they'll pay full price. Am I echoing now?
A little bit. We're all having.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's just annoying to yourself, I think, more than anything.
Okay.
They'll still send you offers though with the best offer. We don't have best offer at all, but they still send you offers.
Yeah, they can send it through the email system, the message
We
system.
get them a lot, but we don't have best offer on any of our listings, but we will get a lot of offers in. And then we just look at them, and depending how long we had it listed, where it's going.
So how come you don't have best offer on your listings?
Jim doesn't like it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong or whatever. It's just the way we do it.
Just tell
Jim
them to
hates
suck
just
it up,
doesn't.
Buttercup. Get with the program.
He doesn't. Yeah, he figures he prices his stuff very competitively. He'll go through once. He does all the relists and stuff, so he'll drop prices or play with prices and stuff. And he gets a lot of offers and stuff, and he'll debate, but he just doesn't use the best offer option. It's just him. I'm not saying it's right or wrong or whatever. It's just the way we do it.
Well, who wears the pants in that household? Come on.
Jim does all the relists and everything. All I do is I do original draft listings. He does the shipping and all the relists and everything. And then when he gets an offer, like let's say it was an offer on something and he's going to take it, he changes the price and says, "Well, go buy it. I changed the price." Now somebody else a lot of times will slip in between that person, but too bad. Anyway.
So do y'all have any plans for today?
I got some stuff I want to list, and I got a fence I got to start moving, so I might start that this afternoon. I got to have it done by the 1st.
Yeah.
Just coming up fast.
Yep.
You have to move a fence by the 1st?
I sold some vacant property but it's part of my pasture fence is across it, so that closes on the 1st of June. I just got to pull that fence up and move it.
What a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I'll just hook the tractor up to it, so it won't be too. It's 5-strand barbless wire. I'll just hook the tractor up to it and then drive away with it and pull all the wire down, and then just hook the front end loader up to the post, and you could just pull them right out. So
does that mean, are you gonna have to restring the fence then?
I will. I'm gonna lock my horses up on the north end of my property, and then I'll pull that fence down so it's down by the 1st, and then I'll shoot in. I just have to move the fence up I think it's probably 80 or 100 feet, something like that. So then I'll just re-put in the post quick and just reinstall it. It won't be too bad.
Oh, I struck a deal yesterday with an old friend of Tristan's family that we had gone up to their house and barbecued with and hung out, and she collects Christmas village. Like they have two whole rooms of their house where it's like trains, and it's really cool. It stays set up year round, like trains and little Dickens houses and stuff like that. And she had bought a whole bunch of Fontanini Village. I think they're the Bethlehem Village or something. I can't remember. I did the research on them. And one day when we were up there barbecuing and hanging out and drinking beer and stuff, she goes, they're all in her garage. And she goes, you do eBay. She goes, I bought those at a yard sale. I should have never bought them. She goes, you should totally just give my money back. And I'm like, well, what is your money back? She goes, I don't know. I'm going to have to go look or whatever. And she goes, and they were covered up at the time in the garage. And I said, well, send me some pictures. Don't go to great, just so I can see what the name of each piece is or whatever. Send me some pictures and send me a price. And she had emailed me and said $300, and I just kind of ignored it. It was like, I can make some decent money off of them. There are several of the pieces that would sell for $100 to $150, and I was like, boxes were in great condition, which with Fontanini might make a little bit of a difference. And I also didn't look. I'm not sure if the styrofoam inserts are in each one or not, but the way the boxes are sitting, it almost appears that maybe they're not. So she messaged me yesterday, emailed me back. She said, okay, my offer is $300. What's your offer? And I'll deliver. I was like, $225, just kind of going back kind of low. She's like, okay, done. See you tomorrow. So apparently she's going to deliver them today, but I think there's about 12 pieces. I can get those thrown up really quick. They'll be a little bit slower to sell probably this time of year. I mean, Christmas sells year round. Fontanini will sell year round, but not as fast as it would at Christmas time necessarily.
Well, you're only ending for $20 a piece. I mean, so.
Yeah, and it's like I said, based on my research, there's at least 4, if not 5 of the pieces that are an easy $100 to $125. So I mean, I think there's probably $700 or $800 worth of stuff there.
Yep.
But you know, that's back talking about relationships and stuff like that, you know. And then my next question will be, okay, what else do you have for sale? You know, what else do you want to get rid of? You know.
Yeah, if you want to get rid of something else, just keep me in mind. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I didn't get my lawn mowed yesterday, so I'm gonna work on some listings this morning, and then
Yeah.
probably work on the yard.
Speaking of which, apparently I offered, since Jim closed on his house. Jim, are you still there? Because your camera's off.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm eating.
Oh, you have your pants off, so you turn your camera off.
Yep.
And he won't be here in time to. I mean, he's probably gonna need his grass cut on the new house at least once. So I offered him to cut his grass. It's not a really big yard though. Your yard, I literally could probably zip through that really fast.
Yeah.
I'm like, did I really I hate cutting grass, but I don't mind doing it.
You don't have to.
No, I told you I wasn't gonna weed eat though. Don't expect weed eating.
Yeah.
Like that ain't happening. And I may miss a row, you know.
I expect it to look like Yankee Stadium when I get down there.
I am. Dude, we used to have this neighbor when I was a kid that would mow his front yard twice at like perpendicular angles or whatever to get that done. And I'm like, really?
Oh, cool.
I mean, this
I
was
had a
also.
crazy neighbor. I had a crazy neighbor across the street that he was insane about his yard. He would cut it every day, and he would cut the front yard twice every single day. And he lived on the corner of this lot. It was right across the street, but there was a little side street that went down. I lived on a dead end street. This little side street was also a dead end street. So kids naturally would want to just shoot across his front yard because they instead of walking down and doing this down the other road. The guy lived at his front door, at the screen door, waiting for a child or anything to step into his yard, and he would burst out screaming and yelling. Old Man Goki was his name. That's what we used to call him. And he would also, I mean, we would play in the street, in front of our house, and he'd be waiting there. If you're throwing a ball or tossing a frisbee or something like that, if it went into his yard, it was a race to see who could get it because he wouldn't give it back. He'd keep it. And so if the ball was kind of dribbled off or something rolled into his yard, it was a flat out, he was out there 70 years old or something like that, out there trying to get out there to get that item. You know, and when you're an 8 or 9 year old kid, you get a little terrified. By the time you're 15, you're more of an obstinate little bastard that's going to do everything you can to annoy the shit out of him. So,
No, this guy, this was late 70s. This guy drove an El Camino, and he would mow his yard wearing coach's shorts.
Oh boy.
I just remember he was because all of his kids would snicker and laugh. He was a very furry man.
Yikes.
He wore the fur pants.
It was like some bad 70s porn. Ugh.
Oh, fishing and picking. He asked, does the new house come with an I-8
Yeah, right.
and a Goodwill donation bin in front of your house?
Yeah. I don't want to come on here and be all angry at, the world, but no, and thank goodness.
You know what, though? I was reading a post the other day, and it always goes around, especially at Christmas time. Everybody gripes about the Goodwill. I don't like the Goodwill. Don't get me, I just don't like them. Ours here sucks. The lady is mean. They get a lot of Target, I guess because we have a distribution center here, they get a lot of Target clearance stuff that comes in with red, Target clearance, and it was $19.99, now $3.99, and so they price it like $6.99. Like Target couldn't get $3.99, you're going to get $6.99. And they write on everything with big black magic marker. And there's no antiques or collectibles to speak of in our Huntsville store, so I wonder where all that goes. So I'm just not a fan of the organization, but it goes around every Christmas time. How much first of all, the people always say Mark Coran, who has never even been a CEO. So if you go look at Snopes, but when you look at the guys, everybody always goes, oh my God, the CEO makes so much. It's supposed to be a nonprofit. Nonprofit doesn't mean that in order to have a successful nonprofit, you need somebody at the helm that's capable of running a multi-million, if not billion-dollar corporation. And you need a good CEO. And yeah, you're going to have to pay for that. They shouldn't have to work for free or work for volunteer. And when you look at that guy's salary, I forget, it's between $500,000 and $700,000 to lead an organization worldwide as big as the Goodwill Incorporated, the mothership. That's really not to mention the guy is legally blind, and part of his salary package includes compensation for car service because he can't drive. And I think people, yes, to all of us, that seems like a huge amount of money, but it is so below what a CEO in the regular arena of for-profit corporation, it's so below that it's really not out of line with, not to mention that every nonprofit has to fill out with the IRS a Form 990 at the end of the year. And in that, you have to put the compensation of the top 10 executives and or managers, I believe it's 10, of that corporation. And if those get out of line, the IRS does keep up with that stuff and they'll revoke all your stuff. So unfortunately, the Goodwill is an umbrella type thing. Every local entity, like the Goodwills of Alabama or North Alabama or whatever, is a separate little corporation under the umbrella of the bigger one. And yeah, there are a lot of bad seeds at the local level. But it always kills me that, people gripe about what a big bad organization they are, and when you sit down and look at their Form 990 and how much they pay out in programs and things like that, they're not a horrible organization.
No, not at all.
One of the comments that I saw the other day on something was like, well, I give my money to the Salvation Army, they're so much better. And it's like, but they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just that people get pissy at Goodwill and they don't understand anything, and so they see a meme on the internet and then they believe it. So,
and they don't fact check and stuff like that. And the other thing is, people always use the example, well, they pay below minimum wage. Well, that's actually a program set up through the federal level through the labor department. My dad actually used that program at one of our UPS stores. We had a kid with full-blown Down syndrome. We actually had a couple of them over the course of a couple of years. He had that particular store that would come in. They came in with an assistant that drove them there in a van. They weren't capable, not that kids with Down syndrome, don't get me wrong, but they weren't capable of doing computer work or shipping packages or whatever. Did we need them there? No, we didn't need them there. We had other people that could vacuum or sweep or whatever. But it was something that we did. And yes, they probably got paid through this program. I don't know how it worked. I don't remember, but I think they got paid a lower rate or lesser rate or whatever. But there's other perks to that federal program as well. People that are on that work program that are disabled actually get free health benefits. They get other stuff. They do get, people that help them with their life and other things like that. So it's not they're essentially unemployable anywhere else, and it's not taking advantage of them. These kids were so sweet, and they were so proud of themselves. My dad is such an awesome person. He'd give them a big hug. You did an amazing job. Or if we went to lunch or something, he'd bring them back some lunch, or buy them snacks and stuff like that. No, it gave them a sense of stuff. So I think people misread that program as well.
Yeah, I just pulled up the Goodwill Form 990 from 2015. All the board members don't take any type of money at all. The CEO, his salary was $585,000, and he had other compensations of $126,000.
$126,000, if I'm not mistaken, part of the majority of that was his car service, since he's blind.
So he's right at $700,000 total compensation. And the CFO is $223,000. The CEO or the COO is $193,000. So right around $200,000.
What was the total? Does it say what the total revenue for Goodwill was?
I gotta go back to the top here.
But none of the board members even take a salary. That right there. Trust me, I'm not singing the praises of the Goodwill. They are not. I don't donate to them. They're just not.
Total revenue was $44 million.
So $44 million, and somebody takes a $700,000 salary. That's not out of line.
Yep. And then they paid out $45 million. So, that means they have they're showing like a net loss of 761,000, but they carry over money from the previous year, obviously. So
Now at the
this
local
is
level,
2015.
at the local level, I agree. There are some that have been in the news, where the managers were stealing, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, yeah, there's probably some really bad seeds at the local levels, but but I think it is interesting though. It is interesting. The other Jason said, we have several Goodwills in the area, but they vary greatly by what you find in each, junk versus tons of treasures. It doesn't appear to be based on the surrounding neighborhoods either. I think ours here, from my understanding, is that everything gets donated in Huntsville pretty much gets sent to whoever owns the Goodwill umbrella for Alabama. I think it all gets sent to Birmingham, if I'm not mistaken. Why they do it that way, I do know that they send a lot of it to online auctions, stuff like that. I mean, it's just, for me, it's just become like, I don't go there. I don't pick there, because I know that they're cherry picking or putting their stuff elsewhere. Oh, he was saying, do you think the stores hold back and sell stuff online or something? Yeah, they do.
Well, there is a Goodwill online auction site. I mean, they have their own auction site.
Yeah.
Goodwill
Right.
auctions. And so not every store participates, but some stores do. Their job is to get as much money as they can for their the items that were donated to them. They just don't do a good job of it online, at least. I mean, their online auctions don't bring a great amount of money, but I bought actually from their online auctions before and still made money on stuff I bought.
Yeah, you can actually buy stuff on there to turn around and resell.
But I said I have no problem with any charity system. I mean, Goodwill, Salvation Army. What's the other one I go to?
You can't just it takes a lot to get, and they do a lot of background checks. Like, what is your financial interest when you apply for a 501c3 nonprofit status? They do a lot of background checks. They do a lot of checks on whether or not the officers of the corporation have a financial interest or have a financial interest in other businesses together, to make sure that there's not any potential there for, deflecting money elsewhere, embezzling, things like that. And they do keep up with it. That's why they require you to file a form every single year. And you can lose your status, and a lot of companies do lose their status. So there are checks and balances there. If the Goodwill was awful it always cracks me up. People always put, no, they're a for-profit. Well, I mean, no, they're not. I mean,
No.
but it always cracks me up if you when people say that, because they're not. If they were, the IRS would have revoked their status a long time ago.
Yeah.
And some of the local chains do get their licenses pulled, and they lose their franchises and stuff. So it totally depends on your local Goodwill. Just to say that all Goodwills are crap and they don't do good work, or they don't reinvest enough back into the community, is just it's a silly thing to say, because they're all completely different. I mean, everybody that watches my channel knows that I hate with a passion the local Goodwills here, but I can drive an hour and 15 minutes to a totally different franchise, and they're great. So it's.
So how was your
Hit
experience?
and
Speaking of which, you went to a weigh and pay. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I went to the new Weigh and Pay in Greensboro, because it just so happens to be attached to the first store that we normally go to in that route. There was like 3 people there. When we first walked in, there was 2 kids sitting in the back of a pickup truck, like waiting for their parents inside, I guess. I don't know. It was just kind of weird that they were out there, and I was like, all right, this is the kind of stuff that I'll be dealing with if I decide to go back there, which I don't think we will. But so I go inside, and there's like maybe 5 people at most. Certainly not one for every bin, and it's not huge. Like the one in Winston-Salem is a huge warehouse. This one is small. There's maybe 15 bins at most. There's not that many bins. Mostly clothes and shoes and that kind of thing. And they have 1 bin of media and 1 bin of like games and toys, and all their electronics were individually priced, which was kind of weird for a way and pay. But
everything's priced.
The electronics are individually priced, and they're marked as is, no refunds. So
Are they priced cheaper than what a regular store would be?
yeah. I mean, it's like $3 for let's say Sony boom box. Where if you go next door to the actual store, they might be 10. But chances are they tested them, it didn't work, and they threw them in the bin store. So
I have a question at the weigh-in. Do you run your cart across a giant scale and they tear it out the weight for the cart, or how's that work?
that one had like a scale at the checkout. You have to put all your stuff onto the scale.
Except
It's
for
like
your electronics.
countertop, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Was that one the same price? What was the price per pound different for different types of items?
I didn't even pay it. Well, we were in there for 5 minutes. We
Long
just
enough,
turned around and left.
long enough for you to throat punch somebody?
No, it was really quiet in there. Like the shopping experience would have been fine if I felt like, diving into different bins and looking at, tags on clothes and stuff like that. But everything we looked at was stained, ripped, or, just really, really worn. So
I think you have to be in the mood to dig. It's like even my junk stores and stuff. There's some days I'm just not in the mood to dig.
yeah.
And there's some days that I'll dive in and I was digging through I sent y'all some pictures through the back room of one of my favorite little junk stores. They let me in the back room the other day. And I sent y'all pictures and it was literally like a pig trail through it.
Yeah.
And it was 95 degrees, probably no air conditioning in that back room, now probably 100 degrees. And I was sweating like a mother, but I was in the mood to dig.
Right.
Yeah,
and if you're a clothing seller, I could definitely see where bins are a good business model for you. But for me, I sell clothes, but right now with the move coming up, I'm really only picking the best stuff. I'm not picking, $15 shirts. I'm picking stuff that's higher price that'll move fast because I don't want to move it. So
Yeah.
So the bins is not working right now. Once I move, maybe Dusty and I will run up to Nashville.
We got Nashville or we got Chattanooga, and I think some people in the audience before have said that Nashville's a lot better or whatever. I'd like to go. That'd be a good road trip.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that.
But if we spend the night, we're not getting a hotel room with one bed. I'm just going to go ahead and say
Why not?
I walk in and there's one bed. When I check into the room, I'll be like, going straight back to the front desk.
And while you're running back to the front desk, I'll call him on the phone and be like, my husband's coming down there. He's all. Don't pay any attention to him. He hadn't taken his medication yet today.
Where were we at the other day when Jim was here closing? We went in 3 or 4 thrift stores. I was like, we look so gay, right?
And then I pull out my wife's credit card. She gave me a credit card to pay because I had to close all mine down.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
And it was a Tinkerbell card. So I'm paying this big ass 6'4" guy, 350 pounds, paying with a Tinkerbell card. Yeah.
Big old picture of Tinkerbell on the front of the credit card. I'm like, oh, honey, don't pay with that card. Wow. Oh, that's funny. Steve Martin and John Candy. That's going to totally be it.
Yeah.
Where's your hand between two pillows? Those aren't pillows. Wasn't that planes, trains, and automobiles?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. One of the classic movies of all time.
Oh, yeah.
I love that movie.
We watched John Wick 2 last night. It's pretty good. I don't remember John Wick 1 because it came out in like 2014 and I've slept many times. Like I don't remember movies I've seen 6 months ago. And then yesterday we went to the movies and saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and I think it was Tara that was saying I liked it a lot better than the first one.
I thought it was funnier than the first one.
Well, there was more dialogue in there. The first one, because we watched the first one the other night just to give me a refresher so I can remember what the hell the movie was about. And the first one was like all action, and the second one was a lot more dialogue and comedy and a lot more of a storyline.
Yeah, and I thought they did a really good job with the Drax character. They really developed him in the second movie. You know, he was like kind of funny, and I liked it.
Is he the big tattooed, muscular looking thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
Yeah.
Mr. Sadie's uncle was in that movie as a yellow cab driver at the airport. Your uncle is yellow or the cab was yellow? Apparently, Mr. Sadie has an Asian uncle.
That's cool.
Oh.
That's cool.
Jim could have been in Omen too, but he went to Florida instead. They filmed that up here in Eagle River. The lake scene where they're playing hockey on the lake and that guy falls through the ice. I don't know if you've seen it. Well, anyway, that was done here in Eagle River. And all the extra, the kids for the birthday party, Jim went to a Catholic school. Those are all his classmates. But he was at Disney during that time, so he didn't get to go in it.
Aw. You missed out.
No. Yeah, that house is right here. It's about 5 miles from me. It's right on the chain where they filmed that birthday party.
Oh, cool.
Huh.
Apparently, Nick Menza, the longtime Megadeth drummer, died.
Oh.
Megadeth stuff needs to be sold.
Speaking of bands, my father-in-law stopped through on his way from Birmingham up to Nashville on Wednesday and he needed me to print out some tickets from Groupon or whatever. And I misunderstood him. He was going to see Hall & Oates. And so he was like, I misunderstood him. I thought he said his date had canceled and he had one extra ticket. And I was like, I don't really want to go with it. He had 2 extra tickets we could have ridden with. And I'm not really Hall & Oates. I've been like, but they were there with Tears for Fears.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And I'm like, how did you know? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, we could have grabbed like a hotel room. Really? Like, I wish I'd have known because I would have totally gone. Free tickets.
Hall & Oates is a bit of guilty pleasure of mine. I think I like every single
if you
one.
lived here, it could have been you and me and my father-in-law and his date.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't have been awkward or anything.
Come on, Jim, admit it. You know you love the song Man Eater.
I do. I do. I love all that stuff.
Okay.
Don't make that face.
On another subject, let's.
Now I'm trying to remember all the Hall & Oates songs.
Oh,
T-H-O-C.
Mm-hmm. I really like the old stuff, like She's Gone, Rich Girl.
Your kiss is on my lips.
Yep.
yep. That's a good one.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Method of Modern Love, Big Bamboo was the album. God, I wonder if they still look like porn stars, though.
No, I think they've kind of cleaned up. They've gotten
Yeah.
a little older.
I think Oates shaved his mustache.
Yeah.
Well, apparently
I
he had
think it's
screwed
better
up and didn't realize he bought the Groupon and bought a second Groupon with 2 tickets. So our seats would have been somewhere totally different. So just to add to the awkwardness, it would have been me and you at a Hall & Oates concert sitting together. Because that's just weird.
But you would have made the best of it.
Oh, it'd have been a blast because chances are, I mean, I would have got, if Tristan and I would have gone, I told her we would have flat out just probably rode with him or driven our own, I don't know. But I would have just paid whatever extra I needed to get. I love downtown Nashville. And Bridgestone Arena is like right there in the middle of all the, you know, the bars and all that stuff. I would have paid whatever we had to pay to get a decent hotel because knowing my father-in-law, he probably stayed back south of Nashville in like Brentwood because he had a coupon, 35 miles away, and I've been like, no, we're gonna stay downtown and walk around and have fun and make an evening of it.
Yeah. I love Nashville.
His style's a little different than ours. If he goes to a concert, he will, fight the parking, pay the $20-$25 to park in the parking deck, and try to leave before the concert's over to beat the crowd and all that. And I'm like, no, stay within walking distance, or take an Uber, or take a cab, enjoy the crowds afterwards, go hit the bars, go have some fun, then go back, make an event out of it, because I don't want to sit in my car in bumper to bumper traffic. He does the same thing at football games, and I'm the kind of person, let's hang out after the game, let's tailgate a little more, wait till all the crowd gets out of town, have some fun. We definitely have two different styles, so it's a little interesting going places with him. It's because it's two totally different styles, and he's rush, very type A.
Is he the guy that sneaks in the snacks in his like jacket inside pockets?
Like football games and stuff.
Like anywhere. Like I saw a guy in a concert eating an apple. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
I've never been. I'm trying to think if we've been to a concert with him. I don't think I've been to a concert with him. Football games, he doesn't really take anything in, but he's definitely the guy that will get early. That will get there early to the football game or whatever to get the early bird special. That's like our vacation coming up this summer with him to Florida. It will be, and we're gonna have to kind of, and Tristan's worked on saying, Dad, chill, Say $1 on a dozen oysters. We'll give you the $1. We don't want to eat at 4 o'clock. We don't. That's not how we do.
I could totally see you guys at the U2 concert. Bono's going, Sunday, bloody Sunday, and he's pulling out goobers. You want a goober?
I don't think we're actually going to go to that. I think he's going to sell the tickets because we're going to be in Cocoa Beach, and that concert's all the way over in Tampa. And I mean, that's only an hour and 15 minutes. Well, you got to go through Orlando, but I mean, it's an hour, and you can go around to Orlando, I think. But I mean, it'd be driving back late at night, and he's seen U2 a couple times, and I think Tristan's already seen them. I mean, it would be nice to do, but I don't know if we're going to end up doing that. She and I were talking about it yesterday, and she's like, I told him to sell the tickets. I was like, that's fine. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I want to do in Cocoa Beach. All the times of going down there, we keep talking about seeing Cape Canaveral and seeing all this, and we've never done it. And I'd like this time to go do it.
Yeah.
They have a deal where you can pay a little extra, and depending on what astronaut they have there at that time, you can have breakfast with an astronaut. I mean, they have some cool stuff like that. And you know me, I'm going to print up glossy pictures of that astronaut ahead of time and get them signed and sell them on eBay. Sell them on eBay to offset the price of the ticket.
Yeah.
And that's when they go, and I've done this before at like sports signings, when I know I'm going to sell the autograph and they insist on like, so what's your name? Oh, just leave it blank. No, what's your name? I'm like, oh, John. Because if you put John, you have a pretty good chance of selling that autograph, because there's a lot of Johns out there.
Felicia, that's my name.
They are.
What it is.
The other Jason.
Good.
The other Jason said we've always taped our bourbon to our date's thighs in Ziploc bags to get our liquor into Sanford Stadium at UGA. NCAA stadiums, I think there might be one that are making AA regulation, but I think there might be one stadium that actually allows alcohol. But of course, Alabama and everything, the SEC is like no alcohol. So everybody gets drunk and everybody sneaks in miniatures. And Tristan always laughs about how many miniatures she can get in. She always wears boots, and they go down the boots and stuff, or a flask, or especially if it's a cold game. Because I'm sorry, if I'm gonna sit through a really cold game, I'm gonna have some kind of liquor. But the South's so friendly that even if you don't have any, I think every game that I've ever been to, somebody's always passing a flask back and forth, going, "Here, just take some," We're just friendly at SEC games. Yeah.
Yes.
Ohio Stadium, you see a lot of people have the binocular flask.
Oh yeah.
Really? I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it looks like a binoculars, a little flag, and screw one of the eyepieces, and you can
Mhm.
put it in there. That's because they banned. I don't know if they serve beer there now. It's been a while since I've been to a game, but they banned alcohol for a while there. So.
Never heard of that before.
Yeah.
No, just the engine. No, it's a gas.
So today's Friday. Apparently, this is the big weekend for Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna tie the knot, get hitched.
Yep. Sunday afternoon.
That's cool though. So I am trying to get. I'm going to try and take a trip to California in July. So I'm trying to get some stuff done so I can afford the tickets and go out there and see my daughter and my grandson.
Flying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes too long to drive out there.
Yeah.
You could just hop on a plane and get there in 4 hours.
I don't know. I don't mind driving. I've done that a couple times driving across country.
Yeah.
We were talking about it yesterday, Jim. You got a really good deal on that rental car, didn't you? Did you do the pick your own cheapo one, and then they end up putting you in a freaking Grand Cherokee?
Right. Yeah. That's it pays to go to the same office when you're renting a car. We do enterprise rentals, and we always go. I mean, the one that we go, there's two that are closer to us, but we always go to this one out in Apex because we used to live out there, and then we moved away a little bit. So now we've always gone back to that one. We only have the one car, so like during soccer season when all three kids have a game at the same time, or back to back or whatever, we'll go and we'll rent a car for the day for like $10, and so if you do that enough, they get to know you. And this last time I went in there, I made the reservation for $21 a day. They have this, it's called like You Click We Pick program, and what it's supposed to be is you don't know what car you're going to get, so you're going to pay the compact car rate. So it was $21 for that rate. By the way, if you're going to rent a car, Tuesdays and Thursdays are your cheapest days to rent. So it was $21 a day. Anything from economy or bigger is what they guarantee. But it's supposed to be like if they've got a bunch of SUVs on the lot or cargo vans or whatever they've got a ton of on the lot, that's what you'll get. But I've gone in there so much this last time and the time before, I went in there and they were like, what do you want to drive? I've got this, and this. So, yeah, so I was like, do you want to drive a minivan? Do you want to drive a Ford Focus or a Grand Cherokee? So,
you should have gone for the minivan. You can't ruin your style. I mean, come on.
I'm so done with minivans. I can't take them anymore. I can't do a minivan any further. But yeah, I mean, it pays to go to the same place because they see you all the time. If you're renting, rent the car for a weekend. It's $10 a day over the weekend. You get 100 free miles. Go in there and rent a car every 6 months just to keep your face, just so they get to know your face. And then when you need to rent like a bigger car, do that. You click we pick. And for me, they were like, oh, what do you want to drive? You're in here all the damn time. What do you want to drive?
Next time you got like a Mustang convertible or something like that. Yeah.
Or Camaro.
Tim's asking, do selections differ from airports to offsites? Yeah, you want to go to a place that has a small lot because chances are they're not going to have 15 compact cars there. So
we do offsite. We do off airport, and it's always cheaper. It's always cheaper here. Matter of fact, I'm checking for our trip right now. It's always cheaper offsite, and that's your mileage may vary. You know.
And if you're gonna do that week click, week pick, definitely do it offsite because the airport locations are always going to have a ton of smaller cars. So if you want to drive something bigger, don't go to the airport to rent.
Yeah.
Plus, our airport's also 20-something miles away.
Yeah.
25 miles away. I mean, they will pick you up and all that good stuff, but it's just the one that's offsite's like 5 miles down the road.
Yeah.
Well, you usually get a better rate going offsite too than the airports because the airports know they've got people coming in.
Yep.
So I mean, they're not as, and they usually have bigger lots. I mean, a lot of airports have off airport lots that they'll rotate cars from as well.
Yep.
But if you go to like the local enterprise rent-a-car place that's got like 12 cars on the lot at any one time, you're pretty much going to get a pretty good upgrade if you're a consistent renter with them.
They were supposed to be doing a thing, Jim, where, and I don't know if they've done this yet, Enterprise was supposed to be introducing a new program. Like, for instance, when we use a debit card versus a credit card, they, do a $250 hold and all that. And they make you bring in a copy of a current power bill and proof of residence. They were supposed to be doing a new program with Enterprise where you could be verified. Do you know if they've done that yet?
I've never had to bring in a power bill, but now they're placing a $200 hold on all credit cards as well. So
it doesn't really make a difference if you use credit or debit.
Yep.
Yeah, it was something about, and this is Enterprise, it was something about unless you have a plane ticket to show where you flew into that town, if you're a local person to that town and doing a rental, and I guess, I don't know, maybe in their algorithm makes you more risky. I don't know. I think it's kind of stupid, but it was something to do with, so if I flew into Huntsville, oh, no problem. Don't need anything. Just a copy of your plane ticket.
Wow.
But if you live here and you do it, then it was different. And it was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But it's not a big, like last time I forgot and the girl's like, I need a copy of a bill. And I was like, okay. And so I literally got on my phone. I was like, oh crap, I forgot to print it out. I got on my phone and she goes, well, you can email it to me. I got on my phone and pulled up AT&T and just screenshotted it. And I said, we were standing there. I said, what's your email? And she told it to me and I punched it in and sent it to her. And she goes, okay, got it. So that was kind of dumb.
That's weird, yeah.
Yeah. Hang on, I got my fake bill I just printed out. Here we go.
Like, seriously.
Let me go to createaninvoice.com.
Is there really that website like that?
I don't think there are websites where you can create receipts and invoices and stuff and just print them out, but I think they're meant to be for like businesses that don't have like proper accounting software and stuff.
Yeah. Just send yourself a PayPal invoice.
Right.
So do you think this weekend will be a good weekend for yard sales?
Nope. No, it might be a good weekend for yard sales. I think some people will get out there because they don't have to be back at work on Monday.
Yeah.
I think you might get some of that. I don't think it's going to be a good sales weekend. I mean, weekends for me lately haven't been very good to begin with, and then having a holiday weekend, which is a traditional Monday is cookout, there's travel involved. I mean, there might be some mobile sales because if people are driving and they're just sitting there bored on their phones while they're driving someplace. But
Right.
yeah, it's typically not a. I can't imagine there's not a big buying weekend. Which is fine. I have a day so far today already. I'm like $70 already in for the morning. So. So we'll see how the rest of the day goes. But
Yep.
In years past, I've always had a good Memorial Day weekend on sales.
wait and see.
I think Monday is going to be slow, but Saturday, Sunday might be all right.
Okay, hey, look at this.
Wow. So the vehicle, I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but
Oh,
on the show, but the vehicle that I want to rent going directly through Enterprise was $115 higher than cost going through Enterprise through Costco. All right, I got a standard SUV.
I thought it was big green.
Really jumped up for a full size SUV.
Yeah.
I may try to get there a little early and like sweet talk them. They don't know me there well. We don't rent enough for them to remember me though. I mean, there's like one kid there that I had a really good talk about what I did for a living and all that. He might remember me.
Right.
You're better off showing up a little bit late.
Right.
I think they have a window though.
Yeah, you show up at the end of your window though, so you never know. You might get an upgrade because they sold out of the smaller SUVs. You might go from Escape into an Explorer or something like that.
I'm hoping they have a minivan sitting there that they want to get rid of. Oh, here you go. Ford Transit, 15 passenger high roof van. I would totally take that.
So they're looking
really...
when you go, can you do me a favor, take all the seats out but the front seats? And
the minivans are double the price. That's the problem. And full size SUV jumps up, jumps up about $300.
The other Jason said we're missing Black Biker Weekend here in MB. I don't know what that is.
Myrtle Beach.
With 320-pound girls in thong bikinis on the back of a speed bike. Google it. Don't Google it.
Oh, I'm totally Googling that. Did you know I am? Copy.
What is MB? I don't know.
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach.
Ah, okay. That's right. Yeah, I forgot where he's from.
Google Images.
So the other Jason, I meant to ask you, did you ever hear back about the guy with the belts? Remember the big storage locker full of belts?
Oh, yeah.
I just wonder if you ever got back with some sort of pricing on it. Or you've been so busy sorting belts you haven't been able to tell us. Probably hung himself in the locker.
Okay.
That's one of those ones you never know if it's really a true.
Block. Nope, no word. He probably. Wow. He didn't get back with you at all?
Crazy.
Yeah, that's frustrating when you have. Yeah, unless he sold it, which is fine, but.
But at least have the courtesy.
Yeah, well,
it's like yard sale signs. Take your ad down.
Yeah.
Get it. As Sally would say.
Hell
yeah.
How's Sally doing at her rummage sale today? Did she say?
Yeah, she's doing another one today.
She do anything yesterday?
Yeah, she had a yard sale, but I guess it started raining, so they closed up pretty pretty quick after they opened.
Get her butt up here. Or she napping, you know.
Yeah,
Slacker.
but she was hoping that it was going to be. I think she said they had a couple of customers before they closed up. But she's hopeful that it'll be better today. And she said it's supposed to be like 68 and sunny, so that's a good
Oh, that'd be
sign.
good. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to decide if I'm going to do a yard sale next week, and it's our community yard sale time. And I really got to think that through.
We'd have to license it.
Yeah, but you're like me. I mean, the type of inventory you have, unless you happen to get lucky and get some resellers there, I mean, is it even going to sell at a yard sale?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, are people going to walk in and go, "Oh, wow, you know, circuit breakers"? You know, or are you going to get people like, "I'll give you a quarter for all of them"?
Yeah, that's what the problem is. I mean, it's nickel, dime, quarter people that you're dealing with. I mean, I have a garage full of stuff. I mean, I was thinking about selling some of my personal garage items, and that would probably be all right. Like I've got a sandblasting cabinet out there I don't use anymore. You know, stuff like that. I could get rid of. You know, drill press and some of my bigger tools. So I might do that, but I don't know if I bring out some of my eBay stuff. I do have that big press. I would never get the value out of it at a yard sale, but you never know. So I wouldn't have to deal with shipping it. I got a few things that I could put out that are big and heavy that I could get decent money for. It'd be worth it. I gotta figure out how to ship that press. Mailman must be coming.
Bumpus?
Yeah, they're going crazy.
I sell more man stuff at my rummage sales than I do anything else.
Yeah. I used to rent a hall and set up an estate sale. It was mostly stuff I got from auctions, and I did good at that. I just don't like having rummage sales at my house.
Yeah. Yeah, then you get everybody wanting to dig for everything.
Yeah, and I got like those pole buildings and that, so then they really get nosy and they want to go think they're on American Pickers or something and go digging.
I had a rummage sale at my house one time, and everybody's like, "Well, can I go look in your barn over there?" I'm like, "No." Well, we want to go look over there in that barn and see what you got in there. I said, "It's none of your business what I got in there." Well, how about the garage? Can I look at any of that? No. Well, maybe I want to buy something over there. I said, if I wanted you to buy it, I would have it out here.
Yeah, we had a rummage sale once, and I'd be like, "Well, how much for the Ford tractor? How much for that gooseneck trailer?" So Jim just started crazy prices on it because it was everybody that came in. Then they'd be like, "Oh, that's way too much." He goes, "Well, when you buy it, I have to go buy another thing and replace it." So, anyway.
Exactly.
No, I just don't like running rummage sales. Not at my house.
And then when I do them at my dad's, get the same thing. Oh, what do you got over there? I'd like to look at that. I'm like, well, that's up to him. And I send them to my dad.
When we move and have a major cleaning out, I always call it an estate sale. It's like every other person that walks in, who died?
Yeah, I know.
Like, that's rude as shit, first of all. And I'm like, part of me just did.
Yeah.
That's like my standard response. Tristan's like, she shakes her head.
If I will say, if you put up an estate sale sign versus a rummage sale sign, you'll just draw them in like ants. I mean, it is crazy.
Yeah.
Nikki, you got to stay calm when stuff like that happens. When they start to badger you, you need to calmly look them square in the eye and say, "Get the expletive off my property."
Yeah, but she invited him in for a rummage sale.
Get the expletive off my property. Write the expletive now. Keep repeating it, and I guarantee you they're going to turn around and get the expletive off your property.
He embarrasses me so much. get those people drive in, and he'd just lay into them. I'd be just like, and I would tell the people, I'd be like, no, he won't sell anything. You should leave before he comes out. And he'd be like on a mission.
You should just go now.
Now, and I'm like,
A lot of times, if people come here and they want to buy something, I either give them the I don't want to sell it price, because if they buy it, that'd be sweet. I gave them way too high of a price of what it was worth, or B, they're like, oh, that's too expensive, and it's like, well,
and typically
that's not firm on that price.
When they just drop in your yard, just drop in to say, oh yeah, you want to sell that gas pump there? They don't got no money. There's your real shit pickers. They ain't gonna give you nothing for it.
Yeah.
And the world is overpopulated. Somebody else is going to come into your driveway in 5 minutes anyway. So when you're worried about this jackass, get him off your property. Clear the store. Let a good customer come in. Make room.
You can see how easy he is to deal with.
And if you're polite and you deal with me like a human being.
Okay.
I'm a lot friendlier than that. Because sometimes people that do come looking for like tractors and stuff and engines, I mean, obviously we don't sell any of that stuff because we collect it, but a lot of those people, you spark up a good conversation. They end up coming to the Steam show,
Yeah.
So you sometimes make friends that way,
Yeah.
My chest is tight. I'm ready to kick.
So be friendly, Jim. You might make a new friend.
He said, he goes, now I'm getting myself worked up. My chest is tight and I'm ready to kick
Oh,
somebody.
Jesus. I'm going to come drive over to your house and...
Yeah, and then come to the yard and say, oh, so you want to sell that tractor or something?
I gotta do that one
I
day.
think you got a bunch of books. Do you want me to show you want to walk me around for about 2 hours and show them to me?
You have nothing better to do in your life than walk me around, show me all your junk.
Yeah.
I caught my older daughter in her room. She had a boy in there, and I walked by and hear this voice, and she said she had a girl over, and I definitely was not a girl's voice. And anyway, we go round and round. Well, she goes to me, she goes, Daddy, he's got no place to go. I said, you know what? He came from somewhere. He needs to go that expurlative back there, right the expurlative down. And then he told me to, and I was okay until he told me to chill out in my own house, in my daughter's bedroom. So I got to lean over a dresser. I mean, I'm like 2 inches from his nose. I've got him, his back is up against the mirror of my daughter's dresser. I got him completely leaned over and screaming in his face that I'm going to open up the door with his head. And anyway, we got him out of the house, so it worked out.
When I used to ask my dad if my friends could stay over the night, it wasn't guys, of course. Well, one time I did ask if a guy could spend the night, but anyways, that was a dumb question. But anyways, if I ever asked if anybody could spend the night, he's like, don't they have their own beds to sleep in? Why do they need to sleep in mine?
They came from somewhere. They need to go back there.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, Dad, you don't understand. My dad never understood. He could never understood why people wanted to sleep in other people's beds.
Well, I had a good idea what this kid was thinking.
Yeah, there was probably a reason why you just wanted to sleep in your daughter's bed.
Yeah. Not because he needed a place to lay his head.
I don't think there was going to be anything going on.
No,
Oh my God. And he's in there. I'm in the house. My German Shepherd's going crazy, ready to attack. And I hear he's screaming at this guy, and his daughter's in the background going, no, Daddy, no. I'm like, this sounds like a bad Lifetime movie or something. Psycho Dad, you got his daughter in the background. No, Daddy, no.
I think I saw this on SVU last night.
well, and he's a minor. You know, she's 16 and he's a minor in my mind. So I'm like, I can't touch this kid. I can get up in his face, but I really can't touch this jackass. I found out 2 weeks later that he had already turned 18. He was a goddamn adult in my house.
Oh my gosh.
I had this one boyfriend before Gary, and when I was in high school, and he like wooed my mom. My mom just loved him. He'd come over and shovel for my mom, and he'd come and do this and that and the other thing for my mom. My mom just loved him. Anyways, when I broke up with him, he would still keep coming over to our house and like doing stuff for my mom. And Gary's like, why is it when I come here, that guy's always here? It's like, he's doing stuff for my mom. Gary's like, well, I'd do that stuff for your mom if that guy wasn't here.
They could have been
finally
competing snow shovels.
Sounds like Nikki's mom has got it going on.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I finally told my mom, I'm like, Mom, it's making Gary uncomfortable that he's always here. You need to tell him to go away. Because I told him to go away many times. She's like, your mom likes me. And I'm like, you need to go away.
Maybe he was trying to get with your mom or something then.
Maybe.
No, he was
Maybe he
trying,
already
he was
was
trying to
getting
get me back.
Oh.
Yeah, his mom was weird too. She like, after my daughter was born, because I went out with Gary for over a year before I got pregnant, and it was almost 2 years. Anyways, after my daughter was born, well, she was still an infant, this woman kept calling my mom over and over again saying, that's my grandchild. Mike told me that that's my grandchild. And my mom's like, she's been going out with Gary for almost 2 years. This is not your grandkid.
Then
And and she is like, well, I just want to give that baby everything it needs, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh my God. I thought I was going to have to go get a paternity test or something. Jeez, this woman would not leave my mom alone. God, they were nuts.
Oh my God.
Here's a
I ended up gay.
Went gay? Did you say he went gay?
Yeah, he ended up being gay later. I
Obviously-
called it. I said he was gay before. The only reason why I went out with the guy was to show this girl who thought that she was all that. I just wanted to show her that I could steal her boyfriend, so I did. Went out with him. Well, then my mom liked him, and she's like, well, he really wants to take you to homecoming, so you got to stay with him at least till then. And I'm like, otherwise I couldn't go. And I was like, really? But anyways.
Here's a chipper shredder available at an auction today. Big old Cub Cadet. I have a brilliant idea for YouTube videos. Take all your duds for resale videos.
Cool.
Take all your duds and just do videos, because there's a guy that does that with like electronics and stuff on YouTube. He's not a reseller, but what if you just took all your duds, your clothing, your crap you didn't want, and just set that thing up in your backyard and just stood there and did a video? Okay, should have never bought this. Throw it in a chipper. Be awesome.
That would be pretty funny.
I think you might end up ruining the chipper.
No, this guy ran iPhones and stuff through his.
Oh my gosh.
As I say, you could start a fire and it'd be a lot cheaper. Show going in the fire.
That's not fun.
Fire's always fun.
Or a sledgehammer.
That's
Get a little bit of
that's like
kerosene.
got to be more destructive.
Yeah, Dusty, one beer ain't fun, but 18 beers are a lot of fun. You just need a bigger fire.
When you don't know, when you're not sure you're not going to burn the woods down, then you know you have a big enough fire.
If you can stand closer than 20 feet, it ain't big enough.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have enough tires in it.
Well, you get in trouble for it. But anyway,
Oh,
I've gone back there and I've been like, Jim would be running around like a crazy rabid raccoon, because the woods is like starting to get on fire. He'd be like, I need water or something. He's out there with like a rake trying to brush fight it.
So I'm not the only one with a husband that's
No,
a fire
he's always,
bug.
he'll have his coat up over his head because it's too hot, running around like a nut, with rakes. Or that, like, because he can't find a rake, so he's out there with a hockey stick trying to put it out.
I remember my brother was a big big pyro. Anyways, well, not illegally or anything, but he loved to start fires. Well, anyways, the first year we lived here, we had, the big tall brush and grass, and dry grass, and he started a fire out there burning some of my acreage, and he's starting too many small fires, and it started getting out into the field and everything else. I was like, oh my God, we just moved here and we're going to burn down the. We ended up getting it out, but I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Ended up going up the power pole and everything else. Like, great.
That one, and it almost got into the neighbor's woods, and he's over there fighting it, so it doesn't set the neighbor's woods on fire because it's on this north property line of mine. You know, if it's our woods, we could probably like live with it, you know, but not the neighbor's
Yeah,
woods.
yeah. The neighbors might frown on that. It was auction night last night. I only got to go for like an hour because my husband had to work late, and he didn't tell me. I'm sitting there, waiting for him. Never called me. Finally, at like 7 o'clock at night, I was like, I'm leaving the auction, and then he called. He was done, so then I had to go back.
Did you get anything?
No, I got 2 packages of brats.
Oh yeah.
Everything good was sold already before I got there, and then everything good later on, I didn't get to go back for. So
I bought that Sleep Number mattress thing for $2.50 a couple weeks ago, and I sold it for $202 last night.
Nice.
That was a nice one.
Some incubators there I wanted to get, but I ended up having to leave before they went.
Were they big ones or smaller ones?
Bigger ones.
Usually they do all right.
Yeah. I wanted
Especially
them
this
for me.
time. Well, especially this time of year.
Now I got Stacy's mom in my head. Thanks. Stacy's mom has got it going.
Got a portable Game Gear.
Huh?
The Sega Game Gear.
Yep.
A bunch
Cool.
of games. Stepson dropped it off for me last night. And the prison Game Boy.
How much is it?
Nice.
Oh yeah. What's wrong with it?
Did you say a prison Game Boy?
Yeah, it's clear. It's got the clear case on it.
Thing to do? Like,
I have no idea if this stuff's worth it. I mean, I didn't pay anything for it.
you know for sure it's the problem.
We can research that.
Oh, but how much work is that going to be?
Too busy engrossed in Black Bike Week photos.
Ew. Ah.
But you get the whole chassis with that one.
No, you just get the engine.
Oh,
They got the car in there.
oh yeah, yeah.
And then next week there's a school that's being demolished, and there's an auction. And my sister-in-law planned a birthday party for it.
I was
That
down
day, and I
for
was-
the birthday party.
Well, that's what I told my husband. I said, I'm going there in the morning, and if there's anything for me to stay at, I'm staying at the auction. I'm not going to the party. And he's like, she's gonna be ticked at you. I said, I don't care. If you had to work that day, nobody would be mad at you.
I'm going to ask Jim, what would you do going to a birthday party or an auction?
If it's one of my parents' funerals, I would have a decision to make. But other than that, or my own funeral.
Oh,
Other
if
than
you're
that,
dead, you're not going to an auction.
other than that, I'm going to the auction. That's my job. I gotta go. If you worked at McDonald's and you were scheduled for that day, you'd have to show up and flip burgers. So, I mean, your job, you do a hell of a lot more than, no offense to McDonald's burger flippers, but you do a lot more at your job than the burger flippers. So, yes, you have to be at work, and auctions are work.
Yep.
That's true.
I know they don't see it that way though.
Yeah, well, they think you're like goofing off
Well,
every
yeah, but-
day. And I enjoy doing it, but it is a job.
Hey, they ain't paying your power bill or you're paying your mortgage payment either.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly.
You're responsible to your family, your immediate family first, and their well-being. And if you're taking bread out of their mouth to go to some event, that ain't being responsible, in my opinion.
Hmm. Well, I told her a
What
week
if it
ago
was-
that there was an auction on that day. Well, she planned it on that day instead of Sunday because Sunday my husband's going to the air show. And I'm like, really?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about taking Brandon to that air show up there, but I just don't think I'm going to have time. I got this fence project.
Yeah. Well, the Canadian snowbirds canceled because they didn't have time. It's been too rainy. They didn't have time to practice.
What are they?
I don't know, some tricks. They do tricks or whatever, maneuvers or something. I don't know.
Or
That's
whatever.
their military team.
All I know is my husband and my uncle were kind of ticked that they weren't coming, but
Yeah.
What's going on with fishing and ticking?
health issues lately.
Yeah.
Wow, sorry to hear that, man. I'm just apparently behind the times on everything.
So it's just yesterday he told us.
Okay. Where's
See, not
it
too
at?
far, but-
Yeah.
I'll just message him. Never mind. Instead of throwing all his business out there public. Okay.
Yeah, the Jason says we have tons of Canadian snowbirds here in Myrtle Beach, but they don't do tricks here. Oh my gosh.
Those are snow bunnies.
There you go. There you go.
Especially for biker weekend. I'm sure there'll be a lot of those.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm so hungry.
I got some tires to sell this today. I think they're going to come today and pick them up. So I got those to sell, and then I'll probably work in the yard a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut my grass. Finally stopped raining here.
I got to mow my grass. It's been raining a lot.
Yeah. I tried getting out there, but it's got to be done.
I like mowing grass because it's like the one time where I don't have to like talk to any, like I don't have like Jim talking to me and stuff. I can just like.
That's why I do dishes, because everybody leaves you alone. And you stand in there and we have the little Amazon Echo thing, and I'll have it play some music that I like and turn it up, and everybody leaves you alone in the kitchen.
Yeah, and I come up with my best ideas. I'm just driving around mowing grass. I'll come up with these good ideas and stuff. It's awesome. It's like that movie Date Night. Do you remember? I don't know if you've seen it. When Tina Fey goes, sometimes I just want to sit by myself and drink a Diet Sprite or whatever. That's what lawn mowing is for me. So I can just sit by myself and just not talk to anybody.
I know, I like mowing the lawn too.
Yeah. I love my family, but I don't have like a kid talking to me or Jim telling me what to do or.
Hmm. That's why I got these big honking headphones, because they cancel out all the sound around me. So when I'm driving the tractor around, I can
Just
put
admit you
these on and I
wanted
can still hear.
to look like Jim Bennett.
Yeah.
Except his are purple.
Purple. Those are going back, by the way.
Those are going back, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hopefully, my thing is if I can get some stuff done around here, get my yard mowed and everything. And tomorrow I can go do some yard sales. Go to some yard sales and I can get some stuff. That's the plan anyway. May not work out that way, but
This auction isn't very good tonight, Dusty. found a new designer name to look out for, and he does all kinds of stuff. But it's Maitland Smith, Maitland Smith. He does furniture, he does smalls, bronzes, obelisk, artwork, things like that. If you see any of that stuff out there and it's made in the Philippines, if you can get it at a reasonable price, pick it up, because it's crazy pricing on eBay for Maitland Smith stuff. I was shocked. I mean, literally shocked. I mean, an armchair for over $1,000. Those are sold prices on eBay.
Wow.
And stools and end tables. I mean, it just blew my mind how much the stuff worth. The only reason I found it is that there was an auction that had all this Maitland Smith stuff in it. I'm like, all right, I'll run the name and see what it is, and about fell over. And of course, I was bidding on this stuff, and it went crazy here locally. So no money to be made on it, but so yeah, run Maitland Smith.
I have to tell you, if you guys like sour candy, you got to get these. They're so good. Mike and Ike's Sour Delicious. Oh my God, they're so yummy. If you like sour candy.
And they're gluten fat free.
Really?
Just said it
Yeah.
in the gluten and fat free, so that's healthy.
Yeah, gluten and fat free. Yeah.
There you go.
I don't even know what a gluten
It can be good for you, right?
I don't even know what a gluten is.
Maybe I can send this. Maybe I can send this video to Mike and Ike, and they'll send me some free ones.
Yeah.
There you go. It'd be
There
like
you go. You should do that unboxing.
Yeah, I can do an unboxing. Sit here and listen to me chew my Mike and Ike.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, it's so good.
It really is. It really is good, though. I'll spare you listening to me chew, but they are really good.
Jason says, I work out my glutens every morning.
What is a
Bumpus is here.
What'd you say, Tara?
what is a gluten? I don't know what it is. Is it something to do with
Gluten is the
It has
stuff
something
that
to do
makes food
with
taste good.
Oh, okay. That's pretty much everything in good tasting food.
Yeah.
Eric, on which one are you on? The one where, because they posted pictures 4 times.
It's the one that has the lawn tractor sprinklers in it. I saw it in the background. I'm not sure if it's part of their system or not. So
It's only 124,000 miles on it. The other one's only 100.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on May 17th. That was last week's auction.
Elgin's like
Not that bad. That's on the southwest side.
I have this picture board I have to make for the funeral on Monday. I told my husband I was going to print them on my labels, and I could just stick them on the.
There you go.
it was the last set of pictures for the 23rd, Dusty.
The last set?
Yeah.
The one with the cedar chest full of junk jewelry?
I didn't see I didn't really look at the chest, but actually, no, it's maybe it wasn't the last set. No, it was the third to last, or the third one. When you look at it, it's got like the picture, it's got 36 pictures in it with a crossbow. The very first picture, you see this sound system, and I didn't know if that was theirs or if that was.
That's part of the auction houses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the lawn tractor sprinklers are in there, and those can be really good money.
Yeah, I know. It just takes shipping them.
I know I got 2 I got a list, and one's worth over $100, and it's like such a pain in the ass to ship.
That one had a Coleman stove in it as well. A model
Yeah.
413E in the original box, but of course they don't show stove.
There's other. I mean, there's some other stuff in there. Some signs and stuff. The Winchester thermometer looked decent. The other sign looked like a repop.
I can actually put in absentee bids on that stuff.
I hate absentee bids.
No, because I know the ticket taker personally, and no, I know a seller at that auction, and he's already told me they won't run you up. He goes, if you wanted to do something like that, he goes, they don't do that crap.
Well, like I said, one of my local auction houses is if you give them an absentee bid, that's what you're going to pay. They'll start you out at your max bid.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what's the point, you know?
Yeah, ours do that too.
Yeah, they'll take bids off the wall. You know, they'll take bids from an imaginary person to get your bid run up.
Yep. So I don't do absentee. If I can't be there, I just don't put it in.
Just read Fishing and Bacon's comment. I ain't touching that one. That's hilarious.
Good stuff.
I just wonder when, right after he tells us what it's all about, he says awareness is great for prevention, and then all of a sudden Megan comes back and says, part of the wheat shaft, I think.
I know.
That's when you get two conversations mixed together.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, y'all, I think I'm going to wrap it up for the day. Hope everybody has a great day and lots of things, and we'll see y'all later. I'm going to get started on my little projects and get some stuff done. So we'll see y'all on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.